After a while of crisis or any kind of real catastrophe, you stop realizing there is a crisis and a catastrophe. It just becomes what is going on there, right? And that is a real issue because Manchester United are going through that right now. The anxiety, the worry, the stress, the confusion, the malaise, all these other things that are going on around the club is not meant to be associated with Manchester United. The reason they have one of the highest revenues in the world is because of the success off the pitch, because all the fans they won over back in the 90s and 2000s, because of the culture, because of what they represented in football at that time. All of that has been hijacked by the people that own the club. And Manchester United fans, I get it. I feel sorry for you right now. We're with you as fans. But what you're having here is a real issue that season after season, there's just this line that keeps getting hit. And every time they hit that line, people go, okay, well, we could make it into top four, or Eric Ten Hag's come here, or Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's a ray of hope, or Ronaldo's coming back, or there's this. There are little compromises that are made along the way. And those compromises are paving the road to hell right now for Manchester United. The irony, look at that badge. But this is the thing is, Manchester United last week lost a percentage of fans in North America to Liverpool, other clubs, Man City, Chelsea, and they slipped to second in the most supported or interesting club in North America to Liverpool. Marketing FC can't do that for much longer if their marketing is not as strong as other clubs. And there are multiple symptoms around. And I'm going to go through some of those right now. We've seen it for years, by the way, that the Glazers are a real problem, but there are other issues at the club which are causing real problems. And one of them is that every time that they turn a new corner and the Glazers are still there are a series of people who go, this is New Hope. Do you know why? Because it sells papers, because it gets clicks on videos, because it does all the things that get you engaged with the content, because they break down of Eric Ten Hag, because this is the new saviour, because all these things endear you to those people, get you to read their column inches, get you to watch their videos, get you to engage. They're the ones making the compromises. They're the ones compromising the fan base. Guarantee you there are very few people out there in the fan base away at the away games or at the home games saying, it's great that the Glazers are here, we should keep moving forward here. This is fantastic. And if they are, then they are deluded with what is going on right now at Manchester United. Because it's delusional to think that billionaires have screwed you for years and years and years are now going to change things, are going to make any difference with what is actually going on at the club. Those guys want to collect a certain level of profit. They want to put a certain level of money into the club because they're waiting for a big sale. They want to maintain until they can get out. That's why they're not putting so much money in. That's why, even though Manchester United are making massive profits, it's not going back into the club. At a proper level, of course, there are some level of profits going in, but again, it's not a compromise. What the club generates, the club should then put back in. Shouldn't be taken out in massive profits. Shouldn't be then leveraged as more debt. And sure, there are different ways to run a club, but why should the Glazers be the ones to benefit from this? And let's not skip over the players either. The players are complicit with this. There are multiple players in that team taking huge wages, knowing what they're sitting on. The guy letting the goal today is on close to 400k a week. There are other players taking massive wages from that club out there looking confused. What? I don't get it. I don't get it. You're not playing well, mate. And you're taking massive wages and exploiting an ownership who don't know what they're doing right now. So whilst we're busy saying, hey, well, it's not the player's fault, it's not Eric Ten Hag's fault, these guys have chosen to be in this position, especially players like Ronaldo chose to return to the club. Other people chose to sign contracts there. Sure, they may have been convinced by whatever plan they were sold on, but you have your own people around you. You have agents, you have all these kind of people. They're meant to know about football, aren't they? They're meant to know about the direction of the club. I'm sick of it being that it's just about the owners at this point. No, there are players out on that pitch who are not playing well, and they're still taking a huge wage. And I get it, like they might not want to go elsewhere. It might be that they're there to exploit it, but football's not just about the cash. If you're being exploited by any level of millionaire or someone who's in that top 1% of the country, you're being exploited as a fan base right now. There are people having outrageous takes on Twitter saying things like, and by the way, making their own waves in football, saying, hey, you know, if I can capitalize on this, we can get some views. I could be the guy who, I'll be the guy. I'm Che Guevara, but for Manchester United. Of course, we'll benefit. I'm making money off making videos, I hope. Oh, that's just someone for Manchester United there. The point, though, is that serially now, there are multiple symptoms at the club that have been real issues for years. No one standing with Manchester United, we'll call them Banter FC, we'll call them whatever else. The Premier League aren't stepping in, weirdly. Manchester United are currently holding the Premier League back. Do you know why? Because their owners are letting the club demise, diminish, go down. Whatever you want to call it, it's a downturn. And Brentford completely exploited Manchester United on that pitch day. Tactically, they outthought them. They outfought them. Manchester United players looked lazy. They looked like they were running at every point. They were second to every ball. There was a lazy tackle at one point. I was so annoyed. I thought McTominay had actually injured a player because he was so careless on the ball. He had to recover and went through a tackle, went through his ankle for it. That's lazy. Outside of that, yeah, sure, Eric Ten Hag has to bear a certain level of responsibility for this. Losing 4-0 to Brentford, not acceptable. You set up a tactical system which is completely exploitable, and Manchester United haven't looked this vulnerable, even under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, if we're honest. If anything, this is worse than what was going on last year. Sure, there are small shoots of, well, Ronaldo got this header, or Elanga did this, or whatever. But I remember doing this as a Liverpool fan. Other teams know this from their own demise. If you're just stringing together random little memories and making small excuses for your club, you're not looking at the overall picture of the club there. And you're not seeing that you're being exploited as fans, you're not seeing you've got a real issue, and you're not seeing that the crisis that's going on at this club is down to these small compromises that people are making. Every season, people mock Manchester United fans for coming out with the green and yellow, whatever it is. You know, they keep saying the Glazers out, all this kind of stuff. There was a Glazers out sign at the club today, at the away end. They mock them, and I get that. And it is a mockable act because it's not consistent, or it doesn't seem to be consistent to the outside. It seemed that 1 minute, a fan in wherever place in the world goes, Eric Ten Hag will win us the league. That's seen as the same weight of voice as a guy who goes to every game, knows exactly what the Glazers are doing, and is engaged on a local level with Manchester United. I'm not saying that the fans aren't engaged if they're global. What I'm saying is that these people who keep disengaging and just going, I just need a win here for Banter FC on Twitter, or to be able to lord it over my friend, or to be able to feel better about myself, they're missing the point. And Eric Ten Hag, sure, does deserve a certain level of criticism for this. He definitely fielded a small side today. He's fielded an exploitable team. He made 3 subs at halftime. No manager should have to do that. But on a footballing level, it is a car crash. Horrific. One of the worst things that could happen in the Premier League. First of all, it's not a good thing this is happening to the Premier League. Whilst it is entertaining in the short run, it's sort of been a long-term thing now. It's been happening for way too long. And as bad as it is, and as bad as I'm kind of enjoying at times it being, because as a Liverpool fan, it's obviously hilarious to us, the crisis that I see is also one that's quite tragic at this point. Ronaldo looks completely, not disinterested, but just disengaged from what's going on at Manchester United. He's still very interested in performing out on the pitch, but does visions and his ideas of what's going on align with the club's? Probably not. Eriksen's come in and he looks even more lost in midfield than he did at Brentford. The club have just pummeled them 4-0. And by the way, this was a pummeling that Manchester United had. Brentford themselves were brilliant in the first half, and in the second half they just took their foot off the gas. They didn't even need to bother against Manchester United, and Manchester United didn't really mount any attacks that even got to anything. What's confusing about that is you'd have expected them at this point to go, well, there must be something that we are getting right under Eric Ten Hag. There must be some sort of identity that we can leverage. There must be something there where, hey, we have something that we can go out there and do. Score goals, but we let in a lot. We don't let many in, but we score goals, or we don't score many, but we don't let many in either. Early mistakes, the defence is all over the place. Eric Ten Hag tried not playing height against an opposition who had height in the Premier League. It was risky, but now it means that card in the second game of the season, which he's also lost, is played. Sure, I mean, he might play the small guy card again, but even then I look at that and think, well, okay, are the players going to trust you for much longer? Manchester United have a real problem because their crisis is that they have A, owners who don't seem to care too much about the club, but B, they also have a disengaged set of players. They have a disengaged fan base at the moment who are fully engaged with Manchester United being better. But every now and again, there is this little bump. This little, maybe we can do something. And that is the thing that delays the actual overall goal that needs to happen at Manchester United. It's the thing where the fans go, well, there has been something here. We've got a new manager, so maybe we'll just engage a little bit for a little while. That sort of stops. There isn't any, because they're so mid-level, mediocre, but still at the top level, no one ever quite realises what the issues are. We saw players disengage towards the end of last season, sure. the players didn't disengage because the players aren't the ones who are, playing well or badly or amazing or whatever. They disengage because they realise that the club is not going in any particular direction. Manchester United now have 4 points in 24. Do you understand that? 4 in 24. That's 1 win and a draw, or 4 draws in 8 games. That is insane if you're Manchester United. And what's going on the pitch is similar to what actually happens with NBA teams or NFL teams when they need to crash, or when they have crashed and they've just completely let go. Clubs in NFL or NBA go, hey, if we finish further down, we can get a draft pick. It doesn't happen in the Premier League. But when clubs or people disengage, you get a good model of what happens. It becomes difficult to take them out of that cycle, and the cycle just repeats and repeats and repeats. And your club is in some sort of a spiral down. It's not even a spiral at this point, it's just a nosedive. It was hot, that's no excuse. Brentford played better. Brentford found holes in this Manchester United side, and Manchester United, including Harry Maguire, including the new signings, including everyone, looked at 6s and 7s. It was not good. There was space. They exploited the pace that Manchester United don't have. They exploited the poor positioning. They exploited the poor formation, all this stuff. We can't blame Erik ten Hag directly for that, but he does bear responsibility. And yes, the millionaires on the pitch look disengaged, including Ronaldo. Not necessarily from the task at hand, but from whatever was going on at the club. So today, don't go around defending this club. Don't go around saying, hey, no, things can turn around, because it won't be that way in time. This is it's been an exponential issue for Manchester United where it just keeps spiraling. At some point it has to stop. Obviously that's against the nature of exponential. But the point is that it feels like just when you go, well, that's got to be the finite amount of that. No, again, they'll just keep going. Other managers at this point are laughing at Manchester United. Other clubs are looking at it and going, well, we can exploit this. If they want this player, we can add this extra money on. If they want this, then we do this. It's meaning, by the way, that with the issue that's gone on at Manchester United, other clubs can exploit it directly. That's the point of transfers, by the way. Other clubs get money, and if they're competitive with Manchester United, they'll ask for more money. Manchester United making the club less competitive, losing like this, is meaning that clubs will exploit them in the transfer market. Another place, another market, where people are competitive. But the owners know that, all these other people know that. At the club, they know that. The players know that. Some of the players know they will leave at some point. It's exploitable. And about that transfer market, Manchester United have tried to back their manager to an extent, but they've also not got a vision at the club. There is no vision of where this club is going. They went for De Jong because apparently Erik ten Hag likes him. They went for a centre-back because Erik ten Hag likes him. There is no vision. There is no cohesive vision within this side. Do not forget that. You need a cohesive vision in order to move forward outside of Erik ten Hag. But all they've done is gone out and gone, well, we'll just get these very specific players and see what happens. It's ridiculous at this point. This is a crisis, don't forget. And crisis is there to exploit for some people. We've seen that globally over the last few years. People exploit crises. They go, you know what, I'm out. And I don't care. So stop defending Ronaldo. Stop defending the other players out on the pitch. Start at least looking at the causes of this at the club. And when other fans are having a joke or whatever, sure, defend them. Defend the club. Defend yourself or whatever because I understand why fans support the team. But at this point, it's indefensible to say, no, we can still get top 4. Manchester United today, I mean, even that kit was just a mess. That kit is terrible. Who wears lime green like that? You're just asking to be mocked. Anyway, Manchester United fans, let me know in the comments below what you think is going on at your club. I look forward to hearing from you. It's exceptionally hot today, but I look forward to hearing from you. There will be more videos about you at some point this season. Other fans, let me know. What do you think about Manchester United? Have you seen this at your own club? Do you see it as something you can exploit? Do you see it as something that Manchester United fans can even complain about? Because their club is still very mid-level. Manchester United fans for years were mocking other clubs at mid-level. Is this the time to mock them back? By the way, it is very sweet for other fans who are watching this happen. Because Manchester United at some point, their fans acted as if As if other clubs weren't worthy. And now Manchester United aren't worthy, other people are enjoying it. It's very bitter for Manchester United fans right now. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's happening. Let me know, United fans, how are you feeling about all of this? It's frustrating, huh? Now you know how we feel. See you guys in a little while. Much love. Bye.